to the Daily Grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Brock Lesnar has re-signed with the WWE. Or is that a good thing? I don't even know, man. I was kind of interested in seeing Brock Lesnar coming back to the UFC. I'm not even gonna lie. But there was a lot of things. Dana White's been coming out and he said, yeah, Brock Lesnar's definitely coming back. So, hey, I think he's coming back, but I don't know who it's going to be against. I was just like, yo, Brock's back. I was excited for it. I mean, because whoever Brock Lesnar fights is a big deal. I mean, we've seen Mark Hunt. He was UFC 200. But who's Brock Lesnar going to come back and fight now, though? That's the question. That's one of the things I haven't even really got to wrap my head around. We did a little bit. There's kind of two options, but who makes the most sense? Would it have been Francis Ngannou, a fight a lot of people wanted to see, Brock versus Francis? Maybe it would have been Brock versus the winner of Stipe and DC, which is still looking like that's who it may be in December. Now, we know Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier fighting for the heavyweight title at UFC 226. Winner becomes the heavyweight champion. Daniel Cormier is already the light heavyweight, and he's fought at heavyweight before, but he's already the light heavyweight champion. If he wins, he'll become the champ, the greatest fighter of all time, as he's the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion. Only person he ever lost to in his career would have been John Jones, who popped dirty for steroids, so the fight was overturned, but he lost to John Jones twice. But the first one was before there was really strict drug testing, so it's kind of in question just because of somehow John Jones' stuff has played out. I mean, honestly, we don't know if John Jones was 100% clean or if it was dick pills, because we've seen that with Anderson Silva. He popped the first time, said dick pills, kind of like John Jones, and they both popped again afterwards. And you can't really use the dick pills thing twice. So it's really weird with that. So in my opinion, I think if Daniel Cormier is able to beat Stipe Miocic at UFC 226, he becomes the greatest fighter of all time. And whoever wins that fight is probably the greatest of all time, especially heavyweight. Because Stipe Miocic has beat some of the best, the Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdums, and stuff like that. Now that's another topic for another day. We're not about to get into who's the greatest heavyweight of all time. But either way, there was talks of Brock Lesnar, his last fight over the weekend at the UFC's Royal Rumble or whatever pay-per-view they had. Ronda Rousey was there as well. That was supposed to be Brock Lesnar's last event in the WWE. But now some people are reporting he spurned the UFC and he signed with the WWE. Now that was the original reports when Brock Lesnar signed with the WWE. People were like, oh, that means he's not coming back to the UFC. Well, now there's actually reports that and Dana White came out too and said, no, he's coming back to the UFC. He also said he's under contract. He's been under contract with the UFC. He's still got fights left with the UFC, but he can still go to the WWE. It's not like you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they have a somewhat working relationship. Even Brock Lesnar might not come back to the UFC, but if he does choose to come back to MMA, I'm pretty sure it has to be the UFC from what Dana White said, how he still has a contract. But this is what another guy had to say on Twitter, another reporter, I believe. He said, as far as Lesnar in the UFC goes, he's currently targeted to face DC Stipe winner at the end of the year's show. I suspect he would be back in the WWE after that. So it's looking like Brock Lesnar might be not retiring sometime soon. There was talks of Brock Lesnar possibly retiring, done with the WWE after this weekend, one more fight in the UFC, and then riding off into the sunset. Looking like Brock Lesnar might have got that itch back, as he not only re-signed with the WWE, but he's still targeting fighting in the UFC at the end of the year, and then possibly even coming back to the WWE, which is all dope and stuff. But that leaves us to the question of, when Brock Lesnar does come back, should he fight the winner of DC Stipe? I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the heavyweight champion. Could you imagine Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Cormier? Like, one of these guys is just way bigger than the other. You know what I'm saying? Stipe Miocic, a legit heavyweight champion. Daniel Cormier would be a legit heavyweight champion too, but he's just fought at light heavyweight. He's just a lot shorter than a lot of the guys up there, even though he's got world-class wrestling skills. I mean, that would be insane, but DC versus Brock Lesnar seems like it would be a hell of a, size difference. But hey, that would be a crazy fight. I mean, you know, that's like, there was already supposed to be like John Jones versus Brock Lesnar. That's who it was supposed to be. But John Jones and his transgressions, DC's kind of taking everything he worked for. He's getting the heavyweight title fight, might be getting the Brock Lesnar fight and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is interesting. We'll see how it plays out. But as of right now, it's looking like Brock Lesnar won't be coming back to the UFC as soon as expected. You know, we thought he might fight Francis Ngannou first, maybe get one fight in before fighting for the title. But honestly, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go, because Dana White did say Brock Lesnar would have to enter the USADA testing pool. And when he said that at the press conference, like, the whole crowd laughed. Like, he was like, yeah, if Brock comes back, he'll have to enter the USADA testing pool. And the whole crowd, bro, it was like, what? Why are y'all laughing? Like, you know why everybody's laughing, dude. Brock Lesnar comes back, he has to be in USADA for 4 months, I believe. You know, prove he's clean for 4 months before he can fight his first fight. He's going to have to jump that hurdle. And then also, if he's able to jump that hurdle, he's going to have to fight the best heavyweight in the world in DC or Stipe. So that's interesting. With that being said, it is what it is. Brock Lesnar's re-signed with the WWE, and it's looking like his UFC career is on hold as of now, but still could be back this December. Let me know in the comments if you guys think he deserves an immediate title shot, given that his last fight in the UFC was against Mark Hunt. He kind of popped dirty after that fight, so I don't know if you should really or if maybe you can get a title shot after getting suspended for a USADA suspension. Well, yeah, you can, right? Well, no, could John Jones have got an immediate title shot? He had to fight OSP, right? Or did he get... Maybe you can get an immediate title shot after coming off of a USADA suspension. Hey, let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And if not, do you think he should fight a warm-up fight first? Hey, let me know. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.